In all the turmoil the motherland is going through, evidence is finally emerging to prove beyond any reasonable doubt that Kenyans have changed, and they have probably changed forever. Okay? And that is very, very bad news for the political class. That is extremely bad news for wenye Kenya, the people who own Kenya, own large tracts of land, many companies, are super rich, billionaires, rich families, who have been rich since independence, etc., etc. It is very bad news for them. But it is excellent news, the best news ever for long-suffering Kenyans. Now, this evidence has emerged all over the place. For anybody who cares to look carefully and keenly, the evidence is everywhere. The country has changed. Tribalism, believe it or not, is on its deathbed. Yeah, many Kenyans don't believe that, but there's plenty of evidence all over the place. However, on your screens right now, you will see a survey that was done online, featuring over 20,000 respondents, that has produced some very interesting results that we need to take a closer look at. Now, even before we do that, I had a discussion with an analyst before Ruto started his ill-fated, can I call it like that? Ill-fated tour of the Mount Kenya region. And this other analyst was saying, you can't trust what is online. Not everybody has a smartphone. Yeah, what people are saying about the president in the Mount Kenya region, things qua ground will be different. There are those people in those very poor villages, yeah, who are not on social media. And some of those people respect the presidency. And therefore, this other analyst was telling me, therefore, in their opinion, Ruto's tour of the Mount Kenya region was going to go smoothly. And especially because he was using money, everything was okay. And he would emerge from the Mount Kenya region stronger than ever before and ready to bounce back, ready for 2027. Yeah? Even if he doesn't get votes from the Mount Kenya region, at least the perception amongst Kenyans will be that Ruto still has some semblance of support amongst Kenyans. Ruto still has support in the Mount Kenya region. What happened? What happened in reality? Well, we all saw it. And by the way, evidence is now emerging that State House worked very hard. They even worked on the mainstream media. You people have to assist us, you know. People cannot see people jeering the president. That is not good for the country. You must help the government. And you know the government can always help you in future. So please, play down. Play down on the jeering crowds. Focus on what the president is saying, okay? And focus on those who are cheering. Please do us that favor. Yeah? And we'll never forget. We can always return the favor. Something like that. And therefore Kenyans had to learn from social media what really happened. The Mount Kenya tour by Ruto, total disaster. That is the truth. But my point here is that we saw and we knew early, courtesy of social media. You see, things have changed. People don't believe. But the truth is a lot of things have changed in Kenya. Even if it is true that not everybody has a smartphone, one smartphone can have enormous influence in a remote village somewhere in Kenya where everybody else owns Zamlika Mwizi. That is now emerging as the truth. And therefore we can say confidently that social media today is a very good thermometer to measure the political temperature countrywide. Okay? Of course it is not perfect. Of course somebody went and purchased 100,000 fake accounts from India, which are all on Twitter. And so if you have a poll, those fake accounts, non-existent Kenyans, are definitely going to influence the poll. And in my opinion, that is why this poll we are focusing on our show today is even more fascinating. Because believe it or not, there is somebody on that list whose votes have been greatly padded. Zimeongezwa. Can you guess who it is? Well, don't worry. You'll find out very shortly. But before that, I just wanted to remind you that I'm still celebrating 20 years of the Kumekucha brand. 20 years is not a joke. 20 years doing the same thing cannot be wished away. It can't. And even as you prepare to send Kumekucha a birthday gift, 20 years old, even as you prepare, I'm also preparing to send you my gift. This is a very big deal. It is really very simple. I will send a gift to you who loves the Kumekucha brand. And I'm even prepared to send you a gift that you will not believe. Yeah, a gift of a free pass to everything produced on this channel that may require payment in future. You will just be getting it free. Weekly intelligence briefings, you never need to worry about updating your subscription. You will always get it free. The special reports, highly treasured special reports, very sensitive information, you will get it free. Yani a free pass for everything. Okay? And who will get this amazing gift? Well, 20 of you. Yeah, to represent the 20 great years of the Kumekucha brand. And of course, those I will be putting into consideration, yeah, to choose my 20 will be those who send in a gift. Are those who send in a birthday gift to Kumekucha, yeah, no matter how small. So this is a big chance for you. All you have to do, and this is very important, is that after you send in your gift, just make sure you also text me your email address. Okay, it's that simple. And then we just wait. On the 6th of May, we will announce mchana peupe the 20 lucky people who have a golden free pass to everything Kumekucha, even what is coming in the future. Okay? You have been seeing details of what you need to do if you want to send in something. Yeah, they're right in front of your screens. Just use that information. Let the celebrations continue. Right. We were on this very crazy poll. Which candidate on this poll has their votes padded? They're way too high. Well, I'm sure some of you have guessed. Fred Matiang'i. Now there's a history and there's a reason behind this. When these 100,000 fake accounts were purchased from India, do you know who was president? It was the 4th president of Kenya, President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. And therefore, there is evidence. Some of the handlers of the former president still have access to some of these fake accounts, not real people, that can be used for polling, that can be used to send comments, so that the people look like they're thinking a certain way, yeah, which somebody wants them to think in that way. Yeah. While it is not true, it is all perception politics. It is all a perception game. And make no mistake about it, it works. Mob psychology works. When people see that a certain person is being favored, the tendency is to join the crowd. That is human nature. And therefore it works. And so there you have it. Yet another confirmation of the contents of my previous video, yeah, where I focused on the presidential candidate, Fred Matiang'i. Okay? But even more fascinating I have never seen a poll like this, whether it is online, or whether it is in a mkawa somewhere, or whether it is between a few people in a workplace. I have never seen a poll in my life since I was born where Raila Odinga was last. Hey, Wakenya kweli wamekasirika. Now you can clearly see Raila Odinga is the least popular candidate to lead the opposition against William Samoei Ruto. I think you also notice that Kalonzo Musyoka is not very far behind at the bottom from Raila Odinga. Now that one is strange. Kalonzo Musyoka has been fighting for the people. Kalonzo Musyoka has been moving very fast to claim the position of the most senior opposition politician in the country, hasn't he? So what happened? Why is he not popular? Very interesting. I will tell you why I think he's not popular. In the past, what has Kalonzo relied on most for his standing on the national political scene? The Kamba vote, of course, tribal votes. And so what Kenyans are saying here in this poll very loudly and very clearly, hawataki kusikia mambo ya tribes. Hiyo peleka mbali sana. That, in my opinion, is the reason why Kalonzo Musyoka has performed so poorly. And is it a surprise that leading, despite the fact that his opponent had a great advantage over him, padded votes, votes of fake accounts from India, but he still led, is former Chief Justice David Maraga. Now, why doesn't that surprise me? Why doesn't that surprise me? It is very clear that Kenyans have changed so much that right now at the top of their list, if you want to get elected to any post, is something that is very important but has been lacking in our politics. Something called integrity. Bila hiyo kitu, if Kenyans can't trust you to be on the straight and narrow, forget politics. Forget being elected. This is what this poll is telling me very loudly. And therefore, if you're out there and you're seeking elective post, you might want to take this information seriously and save yourself a lot of money and a lot of time campaigning in a political campaign that will absolutely go nowhere. Okay? Because Kenya has changed, and it has changed forever. Upende, usipende. And you really can't blame Kenyans. Kenyans have been through hell under Ruto. Hey, what Kenyans have gone through under this president, ato sionge, wachana. Eh? Kenyans have been through hell and they're still in hell. Okay? And therefore, they don't want the same old. Okay? And so we can say with confidence, the new Kenya is not too far off. It is in the horizon. Indeed, we can now begin to see the promised land. May we get there sooner. Now, very quickly before I go, I just want to remind you of our ongoing celebration. We have announced today about the 20 amazing gifts I'll be giving out on the 6th of May. So please make sure that you're not left out. You can see details on your screens right now. It doesn't matter how small your birthday gift is. Just make sure you're in the running to receive a gift from yours truly. Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha.